Hi, Sarah. How are you today?
Hi, James. I'm doing well, thanks. Today, I thought we could talk about something very important, the water crisis.
That's a great topic. The lack of clean water is a big problem for many people around the world.
Yes, it affects health, agriculture, and daily life. Let's discuss how we can improve the water situation and talk about why it's important for everyone to learn more.
Sarah, one of the best ways to improve English fast is by practicing daily. You don't need to spend hours every day. Even 15 minutes of practice can help you improve quickly if you do it every day.
Yes, James, consistency is key. Another way is to listen to English podcasts or watch TV shows in English. It helps you hear how words are pronounced and used in real-life situations.
I agree. Speaking with others is also very important. Try to talk to friends or join language groups where people speak English. The more you speak, the more confident you'll become.
Reading is another great way to improve. Start with simple books or articles, and as you get better, you can move on to more challenging texts. Reading helps improve vocabulary and understanding of sentence structures.
Yes, and don't forget to write. Writing is a great way to practice. Keep a diary in English or write short stories. This will help you learn how to express your thoughts clearly.
That's true. Also, don't be afraid to make mistakes. The more mistakes you make, the more you learn. It's all part of the process.
Watching videos with subtitles is also helpful. It allows you to connect spoken English with written English. You can follow along and learn how words are used in conversation.
Another tip is to set small goals. For example, learn 5 new words a day. This way, you won't feel overwhelmed, and by the end of the week, you'll have learned 35 new words.
That's a great idea, and when learning new words, try to use them in sentences. It helps to remember them better. Learning in context is more effective than just memorizing.
Finally, be patient with yourself. Learning a language takes time. Celebrate small wins and don't rush. The more relaxed you are, the better you'll absorb the language.
Now, Sarah, I want to share a story about a man who had no water in his home. It's a sad situation, but it teaches us the importance of water in our daily lives.
That sounds interesting, James. After your story, I'll share a story about a cat in the forest facing danger because of the lack of water. Let's begin.
Once upon a time, there was a poor man living in a small house. His home was far from any rivers or wells. Every day, he struggled to find enough water to drink and cook. He had to walk miles to get a small amount of water. It was never enough, and he was always tired from the long walk. The man lived alone, and his crops in the garden began to dry up. Without water, he couldn't grow food to eat. His plants turned yellow, and the ground became hard. He tried to collect rainwater, but it hardly rained in his village. The dry season was long and harsh. One day, the man got sick because he didn't have enough clean water to drink. He couldn't go to work because he was weak and thirsty. His neighbors tried to help, but they also didn't have enough water. The whole village was suffering from the water crisis. After weeks of struggle, a group of volunteers came to the village. They dug a well near the man's house. Finally, he had access to clean water. The man was overjoyed. He could drink as much as he needed, and soon his crops began to grow again. The man learned an important lesson. Water is life. Without it, nothing can survive. He was grateful for the help he received and promised to take care of the well, sharing water with his neighbors whenever they needed it.
I want to say about a cat without water in the forest. In a large forest, there lived a small cat. The forest used to be full of rivers and streams where the cat and other animals drank fresh water. But one summer, the rivers began to dry up. The cat walked through the forest searching for water, but it couldn't find any. The hot sun made the cat very thirsty. It hadn't drunk water for days, and its throat was dry. The trees and plants around the forest started to wilt, and the animals were in danger. Without water, the cat knew it wouldn't survive much longer. One evening, the cat heard a strange sound. It was a deep growl. A large predator, a wolf, was nearby. The cat was weak from thirst and couldn't run fast enough. The lack of water made it slow and tired, which put the cat in more danger than ever before. The cat hid behind a bush, trying to stay out of the wolf's sight. It thought about how water not only gave it strength, but also kept it safe by helping it stay alert and fast. Now, without water, the forest was a dangerous place to live. Finally, after hours of hiding, the cat heard the sound of rain. The dark clouds opened up, and the rain poured down, filling the rivers and streams again. The cat drank the fresh water, and its energy returned. It was strong once more and quickly ran back to its safe spot, away from danger.
That was a powerful story, Sarah. It shows how water is so essential, not only for humans, but for animals, too. Without it, life becomes hard and dangerous.
Yes, and in both stories, we can see how life changes when there is no water. It affects health, safety, and even the ability to grow food. Water is needed for survival.
I agree. This reminds me of the water crisis happening in many parts of the world. People and animals are suffering because they don't have access to clean water.
Absolutely, but we can do something about it. We can save water by not wasting it. Simple things like turning off the tap while brushing our teeth can make a big difference.
Yes, and governments and organizations are working on solutions, like building wells and creating systems to collect rainwater. These actions help people who are in need.
People can also learn about water conservation. Education is important. The more people understand the water crisis, the more they can help solve it.
And by saving water in our daily lives, we can help the environment too. Every drop counts. Even small changes can have a big impact.
That's true. It's important for everyone to be aware of how they use water. We need to think about the future and make sure there's enough water for the next generations.
Absolutely. Water is a shared resource, and it's something we all need to take care of. I hope our listeners can learn from these stories and make small changes in their own lives.
Me too, James. And don't forget, listeners, if you like this podcast, subscribe to our channel and stay updated on our future episodes. Thanks for listening.
One more thing to remember is that the water crisis affects everyone, no matter where they live. We need to come together as a global community to find solutions. Every person's effort counts.
That's a great point, James. Whether it's at home, at school, or in our community, everyone can make a difference by being mindful of how we use water. Little actions can lead to big changes over time.
And not just for us, water is crucial for wildlife and the planet's ecosystems. Protecting water means protecting the environment. It's something we need to think about daily.
I hope our listeners will take away the message that conserving water is an essential responsibility for everyone. We can all play a part in solving the water crisis, one small step at a time.
I hope our listeners will take away the message that conserving water is an essential responsibility for everyone. We can all play a part in solving the water crisis, one small step at a time.